Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. What I'm going to talk about, you probably saw the title, whatever I'm going to choose it to be. I'm sure you already kind of have a good idea of what this topic is going to be about because it is just being plastered all over the internet today. But I am going to talk about that, but also a couple of things from a different perspective. So please stick with me. I just want to mention that I posted a podcast today, so you can go to your podcast providers and watch it. It's the newest episode, and it is on this kind of subject today, but it's definitely much more expanded. But you can go there, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, all those kind of places. You can find my podcast. Anyways. So, in case you haven't, if you're one of the 5 or 6 people that doesn't know this, one of the leaders and founding members of Hamas stated that, put out a call that this Friday, the 13th, ironically, Friday the 13th, put out a call of a global day of resistance and a global day of jihad. This is being reported pretty much on all news agencies that I can see, and like I said, it is really all over the internet. Now this started building yesterday, really, of this call for Hamas and its supporters and anyone sympathetic to the Palestinian cause and Muslims in general to stand up and fight back. They're now calling for an invasion of Israel on Friday by the Islamic world, and they're calling for people all over the world to stand up. And if you listen to the guy's speech, which of course it's in Arabic or whatever, he's talking in that not only is their focus on Jews and Israel, but America also. That is their next target. And then there was another person in Hamas stating that they're not just trying to gain land, they're trying to destroy all Jews and Christians. That is their goal, is to destroy all, to destroy and to take over, make them all slaves, all Christians and Jews slaves to them, or to destroy them. This is not, don't even start with me on any kind of racist bigotry, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it, okay? I don't care about that kind of stuff anyways. This is obviously, I mean, it's what the guys are saying, right? Now, I'm sure that most of you are already thinking that I should probably be a little bit on guard Friday. I would say all weekend. In fact, I would say starting now, because we're already seeing increased amount of protests sympathetic to the Palestinian cause around the United States and around the world just in the last 24 hours. It's been happening, but now it's kind of increasing. So I would just be on alert, on your own personal alert. Be watchful of where you're going, maybe change plans if necessary. I know people personally that were planning on doing something this weekend, and maybe a big event or something like that, and you just don't go, or you make alternative plans. If you're going out and about, use common sense, folks. Make sure you're packing, and make sure you're aware of your surroundings, okay? It would make sure that you get home bags, bug out bags, medical kits, all that kind of stuff on board if you're having to travel around. This is just common sense stuff. Probably should go out and make some last minute runs today and tomorrow. Fill up fuel tanks, get some extra water bottles, ammunition, food, whatever it is that you think that you can afford, that you can get immediately. Not a bad idea. Now, I'm not saying that the end of the world is that close. It may not happen. In fact, probably mathematically, if I were a mathematician, probably mathematical odds are in favor of nothing happening on Friday. But, I mean, if you've been paying attention to the last few days, obviously things are happening. We've sent another carrier group over to the Middle East, just off the coast of Israel. We've now sent it just slipped my mind. It's part of the Marine Expeditionary Unit, and some of their amphibious ships are going over there. Biden has announced that we're sending a bunch more planes over there. We're sending the 101st Airborne over there. We're sending Delta Force and Navy SEALs over there. We're building up really, really, really fast way faster than we ever did with Ukraine. I mean, yes, we started moving stuff, but it was NATO, and this is serious deal. I mean, 2 carrier groups, that's serious. 2 carrier groups is a pretty big deal. Okay, just that alone right there. We don't move that amount of weapons and equipment over nothing. So the likelihood that something escalates. Israel has claimed this morning that they are on the verge of starting a ground war, that they're getting ready to move in. Is that today, tomorrow, the next day? I don't know. This weekend, who knows? I haven't heard yet, but they say they have 300,000 troops massing on the border. Egyptian troops are massing on its border. Iranian or Syrian troops and Hezbollah and a few others are massing on its border towards Israel. So there's a lot of that activity. It's quite within the realm of possibility that things pop off in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days. Okay, that's not being exaggeration. That's not hyping things up. That's a matter of fact. So it would behoove you to take precautions. Make sure your batteries are charged, radios are working, cars working, tires aired up, fuel tanks topped off. Get the things that you need. Things like guns, ammunition, especially those 2 things, even though you may not be able to acquire them right now if you order them online or whatever, I would say if something happens, whenever it does happen soon, those things are going to start drying up quick. Prices are going to pop, okay? Because people are going to panic. Food, any type of emergency food, survival gear, that stuff's going to pop, meaning the price is going to go up and the availability is going to go down. It may normalize and level out after a little while, but I suspect people are going to panic, okay? If things are really bad, we could easily see our own government start issuing some type of emergency declarations which could possibly impede upon your liberty, restrict your movements, even up into including martial law. So these are things that we're looking at in a very serious sense. This is not just some crazy bearded YouTuber out here trying to get clicks and trying to terrify people. This is facts, folks. It's the real stuff. And so it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it means that we are definitely in an increased probability of these things happening. And it's not putting a lot of burden on you to just take some extra steps to be aware and alert. If you're part of a group, a tribe, a community, you should be communicating in a very regular fashion over the next few days. You should be talking about any of your fallback plans, any of your communication plans, defense plans, making sure it's all above board, that you've got everything nailed down. It may be that you have to go into action. Who knows? And so we're getting down to game time here, potentially, probably more so than we've ever been, at least in the last few years. I know with Russia, but this is direct on us. The report came out today that they believe about 70,000 high interest people have crossed the border, and we're talking high interest. We mean people from Muslim countries that have ties to Islamic extremism, has crossed in the border illegally in the last year or two. Probably more than that. And that's just the ones we know. The very real possibility of things happening widespread. Yes, the very real possibility of things just happening in isolated areas. Yes, and honestly, if it's nowhere near you, it still could directly affect you. So you should certainly be prepared, okay? Don't be taking this lying down. Don't be just, who cares? Because here's the thing. BLM has already come out in support of Palestine and Hamas. Probably Antifa, I'm going to assume that they probably would. Other groups, other hate groups like neo-Nazis, stuff like that, they could potentially fall in line and support these actions if things started going big time. It's possible that attacks on infrastructure could happen. Grid going down, fuel depots explosion, water systems messed up. All of these things are within the realm of possibility. Again, maybe nothing's going to happen. I guess it's probably likely that nothing happens, but the intel is out there pretty strong. Is the intel part of a psyop, or is it legitimate? I mean, this guy did say these words. I watched his video. I couldn't understand him, but I had to read the subtitles. But we don't know. So I think we should err on the side of caution. Now, before you click off of here, Well, at least for those Torah people, you know who you are, like myself. I want you to stay tuned. The rest of you, if you want to say we're done with the video, that's fine. But you Torah people, listen up. They are specifically targeting Jews, they say. And then, of course, Christians, but specifically Jews. Just because you may not identify as Jewish, you say, oh no, I'm a Torah observant Christian, or I'm just Torah observant, or a Messianic, or whatever term or label that you place on yourself, or none at all, it doesn't matter. All they see is tassels, tzitzits. They see a Torah, they see speaking of Torah, they see you saying maybe a Shema, or just saying something in Hebrew, or anything like that. And if it's known in your area that you're like that, how many times have you been out? What are those things hanging off of your belt? What's that? What's that? People already notice. You should be very cautious. I'm not telling you to do or what not to do, but I think it would be probably advisable to consider, if you're going certain places that may be a little risky, of tucking those in. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's my opinion. If you differ from that, that's fine. But there's certainly evidence, biblically speaking, and other times in history where these things were done and accepted. Look at the story of Abraham and his wife. If you wear head coverings, may not be a good idea to be wearing them, especially in that fashion. I'm just saying, you do what you want. You and your husband figure it out. But I'm just issuing a warning to you to be cautious, especially if you live in areas where there is a Torah community, where it's kind of well known that those people that are kind of like Jews, you know, we've all dealt with that. Some of us it bothers us, some of us it does. It doesn't bother me. I don't care if it I don't care. I don't identify as anything other than a follower of Yeshua and a follower of the Father's Torah. That's me. I don't have a label for myself. But it doesn't matter what you think, it's what they think at this point. And so you should take that into precautions and advisement and establish whatever you think is going to work for you and your family or your community. Because we can't be too cautious at this point. That you could be included in that target. What if there's some neo-Nazi group in the area? Okay, and they just happen to know there's those people down there that are like Jews. I don't know, there's some kind of sect of Judaism. They speak in that Hebrew stuff, and who knows? Be cautious, be aware of your surroundings, have a plan, get stocked up, get ready, but most of all, certainly, be in prayer for yourself, your community, and just the greater problem that's being had right now. Folks, you need to be getting your houses in order and preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.